In this video, I'm going to be talking about why I want to run for Chicago mayor and how I plan to do it. For those who don't know me, my name is Kalia. I'm 26 years old and I've lived in Chicago my entire life. And I'll just start with why I want to run for mayor. I'll have to go back to the beginning just to give you some more background information about me and my political beliefs and how they formed and stuff like that. I've been interested in politics for a long time, since I was a teenager. And I don't know, I think the earliest that I started getting into politics, I remember when I was following the Occupy Wall Street movement. And also when Obama got elected, um, I was just thinking in my mind like the pros and well, actually with Obama, uh, I thought he was a bad president, and I was thinking about all the things he was doing wrong and how if I were president, I would have done it better. And so, unbeknownst to me, I was actually forming early um, forming early my early political beliefs. Those were shaping my early political beliefs. And so yeah, and then as I got older, when I got into college, I decided to major in political science. I thought it was perfect because I knew that was the career path that I was going toward. I knew that being a politician, running for political office was something I saw myself doing in the long term, like maybe for the rest of my life. That's how passionate I am about it. And so I decided to major in political science. And a lot of students they change their majors as the years go on. I stuck with that major now for 4 or 5 years, and yeah, I'm currently a senior in university, and I still have the same major. And yeah, and that's been my main focus. And so I decided I was going to have a plan. I was going to have to take certain steps. I couldn't just jump straight into political office. There were things I had to do to get myself ready for that. So I decided the best course of action to take was to get a solid foundation in my education. So uh, yeah, I decided to learn more about politics in school. So I'm actually almost done. Not almost done, but I've almost got my bachelor's in arts, and that's in my major, political science. So after that, I'm planning on taking a short break so I could focus more on my career and try to get more experience in my field because some careers they require a lot of experience, and I know political being being a politician is one of them. You got to get out there. You got to um, practice it. You have to do it, and to gain that experience. So that's part of my plan. And so what I'm doing now, like I said, I am seriously considering running for mayor of Chicago. And not, I'm considering it. I'm almost 100% sure I'm going to do it. There are some obstacles that might get in my way. Money is a big one because, as most people know, it takes millions of dollars to run a successful political campaign. And I have nowhere near that amount. So I know I'm going to be relying on fundraising and help from my supporters. And as contributing my own money if I can, and going to be relying on several things. I don't have a big social media presence. I know social media helps in getting your name out and getting recognized. Um, I've never been too into social media. I only use two social media platforms. That's Facebook and YouTube, if that YouTube counts as social media. Um, yeah, that's where I post my videos mostly on YouTube, and they're mostly uh, political videos. So that's another way I've been trying to get my name out there and my goal out there. And so I will continue to use YouTube and Facebook more in that process. I haven't decided if I'm going to use other social media accounts like Twitter, Instagram, uh, and and uh, and other social media platforms. YouTube and Facebook has been my main ones right now. Also, what I've been doing for the past few days is trying to get some media attention. Uh, the elections in my city for mayor are still like 2 years away, and Lori Lightfoot, she's really not popular in my city right now, and uh, not too popular with me either. I'm just trying to get myself prepared when she leaves, and uh, trying to get myself ready if I will replace her if I get elected. And um, yeah, so I've been these past few days I've been running all around downtown, going to different news stations, asking for numbers, calling, emailing, just trying to let people know, trying to tell people my story, what I'm trying to do, and if they would be interested in possibly interviewing me or talking to me, just so I can get my name out there to the public. And it's still pretty early until the elections. Um, Mayor Lightfoot, she has another 2 years, and be I want to be I want to be totally ready by next year or 2023. Uh, I no next year. Definitely next year. I want to be a lot more serious. And I am serious now. I'm trying to start early because this is my first time doing this. So to be honest, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to gain as much information and do what I can on my end as early as I can so that when the time actually does come for me to run, I'm not scrambling around and panicking and like what do I do and how do I do this and where do I start and who do I contact and how. So it's a lot of work to do running a political campaign. So um, I'm just trying to get a head start in the game. So that's what I've been doing for the past 2 days. I posted 3 videos prior to this on my phone of me going downtown, going to these different news stations. I went to Fox 32. I went to ABC 7. I went to CBS today. I didn't go to all three today. I went to CBS today. The other two I went uh, the other day. And yeah, so I'm still waiting on a call or an email. Haven't got Nobody's gotten back with me yet. I'm not surprised though, because I haven't shared any of my political beliefs. Um, I guess now would be a good time to do that. I'm running as an independent, by the way. Definitely not running as a Democrat. I am more conservative, so people assume that I would run as a Republican. I don't lean 100% right. It's like I don't lean 100% left. Um, I did some research on the Independent Party. I believe they're a far right wing group. but their beliefs are really similar to mine, and so I just decided to run as an independent instead of the other two major political parties. There is going to be difficulties with that also because running as a third party candidate, they don't get a lot of media attention, um, and they start like later on in the race. I'm trying to start early because I already foresee these problems, potential problems happening. So um, I'm trying to get as involved in the process as much as I can while I have a chance. While I have, I'm on my little mini vacation from school, so I'm trying to get as much done as I can. But I'm running as an independent, and yeah. So for my political beliefs, I don't know where to start. I'll say I'm pro life, so I'm against abortion. I believe in very strict gun control. And Chicago, people say that's Chicago has the strictest gun laws in the nation, or one of the strictest gun laws in the nation. We have concealed carry and things like that. But still, we continue to see crime, gang violence, shootings continue to skyrocket in Chicago every year, especially every summer. That's what we're experiencing now. There have been over 2,000 people shot so far in Chicago. And uh, so far this year, it's 365 days a year, and over 2,000 people have been shot. I imagine the number has gone up more than that since I first heard about it. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of people so far this year. So I am a big believer in strict gun control. We should have even stricter gun laws, and uh, just like the background checks, stricter background checks, and certain guns should be outlawed. Like I'm not a big I'm not a big gun person, so I'm not sure how to. The semi-automatic weapons, I think that's one of them. Um, so yeah, and then people argue, well, people are the problem too. It's not just guns, and that's true too. Um, but guns are still part of the problem. We need to get as much guns off the street as possible, especially out of the wrong hands. So, um, speaking of people, that brings me to my next point. Now, as a public servant, I want to focus on serving everybody and not paying certain people special attention. But there are two main groups that I'm more focused on, that have been focused on for a long time, and that is the homeless and the mentally ill. I do believe that um, the government, the public have just, uh, just how do I say it? I believe they've been ignored for a long time, and neglected, and I just don't believe their needs haven't taken too seriously. I mean, right now the situation in Afghanistan, with the Taliban taking over, there's people stuck at the Kabul airport trying to flee the country, and and a lot of people all over the world, especially in America, uh, our government is, you see it all over the news, poor Afghanistan's, and it is a bad situation. Um, but I just believe that, what about people in our own country, all the homeless people and all the mentally ill we see constantly on the streets, and it's even more of a problem now since COVID-19 started last year. There's even more people on the streets, especially the homeless and the mentally ill, and uh, it's just not enough attention has been given to them all of these years. We've been paying more attention to um, everybody but our own people suffering in our own country. So that's why I want to focus, pay more attention to those specific groups of people, uh, the homeless and the mentally ill. And in Chicago, there have been a lot of mental health institutions that have closed down all over the country too. So I believe more funding needs to be allocated toward mental health institutions and um, yeah, and also the police. I'll get into that in a second though. Um, but yeah, that would help. Uh, I also believe that um, uh, how should I say it? Medication, um, anti psychotropic medication, antipsychotics medication, this medication in for to treat mental illness has been, I believe, over prescribed. It over advertised in this country. I believe this country just has like a problem with over depending and relying too much on um, medication to solve problems, and that's a problem in and of itself. I believe we need to getting stop self medicating so much on pills and alcohol and drugs, especially pills, since we're talking on the issue of mental illness, and um, do more talk therapy, more spiritual therapy. I'm also Christian, by the way. I'll get into my um, Christian beliefs in a second too. But yes, we need this country needs to get more away from pills. But we definitely need to be spending more money on mental health institutions and on our mentally ill population to help them get them off the streets and get them help instead of um, just leaving them by themselves and just forgetting about them, neglecting them. The homeless, the same thing. I'm also a strong believer in that um, we shouldn't be, giving people everything. This is a capitalist society, so everybody, no matter who you are, no matter what your situation is, we all have to work to survive. And the same goes for the homeless too. I believe that um, the homeless they need to work to get back on their feet. Um, nothing should be given freely to anybody. I believe we should all work hard to get what we need and what we want. Of course, everybody's situation is different. Some people, if they have a disability, they can't do that, and there's a lot of disabled homeless people on the streets. So not everybody can. Not everybody has the same situation, but still, there are still disabled people out there working hard and that have homes and are successful. So um, that's another thing. But I do believe that we have to be paying more attention to our homeless population. We need to be doing something to be encouraging them to find work, to get off the streets, to get out of the shelters, and to become and economically independent. Um, so yeah, there's that. Um, so yeah, those are some of my political beliefs. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Um, I am pro police. There is a big defund the police, anti police, whatever you want to call it, movement going on in this country. Um, and it's just horrible the way our police officers are being treated now. And so I believe, in addition to money being allocated more toward the mentally ill, or are mentally ill and um, health institutions more also should also be allocated toward our police departments and helping our police out because they're struggling. There's a lot of officers quitting all over the country, and Chicago included. And this is the city where we need more police, not less police. If we have crime going up consistently, it makes sense that we do not defund the police in our city, no matter what people or the media or the mayor or the government is saying. We need more police in our neighborhoods. Um, Especially in the neighborhoods where gang violence and shootings and thefts and things of that nature is going on. So yes, and what else? I'm just I'm just talking about like the main things that I'm focusing on. Like if I were to get into office, these are the things that I would uh, start focusing as far as policy changes and laws and things like that. Um, those are the areas I would concentrate the most on. And then there's things like jobs, healthcare, the things that people are those issues that are more important to people in their personal lives. Uh, and also, I just want to say that I try to stay current on in the news, what's going on in my city, in the country, and all over the world. But I do believe I should be also doing more independent research on what's going on in my city, what's going on with the citizens, and I think that would help a lot. So when I am questioned, whether it be by the media or the public or whoever, I would be able to answer them in to the best of my ability and to the best of my knowledge based on what I've researched and um, what I watch in the news and things like that. So that's another part of me getting prepared to run for office. Um, so yeah, I don't want to make this a really long video like my other videos. I just want to talk about, you know, um, what I'm planning to do as a potential mayoral candidate in Chicago. Um, Also, I wasn't planning. I originally wasn't planning on running for political office in Chicago, and now I realize it's better to do that because I've been, like I said, I've been here all my life. I meet all the requirements, the age requirements. I have no criminal background. So I mean, if anybody should run, it's me because this is my city, so I have experience as a Chicagoan, and so yeah, I believe if I should start, it should be in my city. But I originally didn't want to do that because this is a liberal city. Illinois is a liberal state, and my political beliefs are just very far removed from Chicago and Illinois. And there's some people who share my beliefs, but for the most part, they don't. So I really didn't believe that I would be successful in uh, gain gaining the voters' trust and um, gaining the voters' attention, and I just didn't think that would be possible because I didn't share the beliefs of a lot of voters in my city. And but I believe the way things are going right now, this is the time more than any other time that I've considered running for political office. I think it's getting closer to that time for me uh, to start heading in that to start running. Um, so originally, I didn't want to run in Chicago. I wanted to run somewhere in some other state in the United States, maybe like a more conservative state. But like I said, it was just better, easier for me to start running in my own city. I thought I would at least try instead of waiting or doing nothing. Thought I would at least try and try now, not put it off anymore, because I believe my city really needs me now. So I'm going to try and see what happens, hope and pray for the best outcome possible. What else? My Christian beliefs. I am a Christian. I've been a Christian my whole life. Um, and I want to implement my Christian morals and values into politics. I want to incorporate it into my political beliefs. And so, if I do get elected as mayor, and um, if I am mayor, I do want to um, have more of a Christian influence on in Chicago. Uh, like a lot of people saying we should get prayers back in the schools because that stopped, and that's true. Um, just believe we've lost our way, like as a nation, also as a city. Uh, it's lost a lot of our values, morals, and spiritual beliefs, Christian values. So I'm going to focus on that too. I'm going to take a biblical approach to politics because I believe that's a good approach. Yes, I know this isn't a theocracy, but nevertheless, we still need to get back to our Christian values. I'm a strong believer in that. I will definitely be doing that as mayor. And what else? Um, that's the main part of it. Oh, also our military. Our military needs a lot of work too. No matter if you argue that America has the strongest military in the world, if we are morally weak, if we're spiritually weak, then and everything else doesn't matter. We need to be strong not only physically, we need to be strong morally and spiritually. We have to have the whole package because if we're just strong in one area and we're weak in other areas, then we're weak in general. So um, so there's with all the disappearances and Fort Hood and the murders, the rapes going on in the Marines and in other branches of the military. Uh, we need to shift our focus on not obsessing over the police and police police abuse. I mean, I'm not saying all police are perfect, but it's not as much of a problem as it is in this country as people and the media are making it out to be. Uh, I don't believe it's a problem. I mean, at all. Uh, Not to the level that people are saying. But we need to shift our focus off of that, and we should shift our focus to the military because um, there's a lot of moral depravity going on in our military. So there should be more done to address it right away, and address it aggressively, definitely. And if I'm mayor, I will definitely focus on that. In addition to the other areas that I'm focusing on, education is another thing. America is way far behind in education. And in Chicago, we need to focus on our public schools specifically, and not just more internally. what's going on in the schools. Like, what are students being taught? The curriculum, I believe, I mean, I'm a student, so I know. I'm in college now, but I mean, even in the lower levels, like grade school, kindergarten, there's a lot of things being taught to students that just shouldn't be taught. And we need to get back to the core the core subjects: math, science, reading, English, history. I mean, we're trying to we're trying to ignore our history and trying to change our history and destroy our history and saying it's all grounded in supremacy, which is not entirely true. Um, and we don't want to focus on the whole history. Like, we want to take some parts out, or just like avoid some parts because it's not comfortable or it's not politically correct, or any of that. Um, but we need to get back to those core subjects because our country is just way behind, falling behind, further and further behind in education. And education is so important to be, um, to remain, to, to remain like, if we want to remain a superpower, we need to have an educated population. We have to have a morally, um, a population that's, uh, I'm struggling with my words right now, that's not morally bankrupt, and or not morally or spiritually bankrupt. And yeah, so our education system definitely needs work. We need to get back to those core subjects. We need to get away from subjects that aren't important at all, like gender studies, critical race theory. That's the debate going on right now. We don't need to be teaching that. We don't Diversity studies, things that aren't going to get you a job, things that are just going to, for college students, that's just going to put you further into debt. Just subjects that you're going to regret taking and when you graduate. But Chicago, we need to focus on our public schools and on our education system in general. So we need to be putting money towards education too. Uh, if we have a population that's illiterate, that doesn't know basic history, that can't speak English correctly. Yes, there is a correct way of speaking English. Um, we don't have a population like that, then it's people are really going to struggle finding jobs, and then we'll continue, and then that's not going to help the poverty situation either. Like, it's uh, statistically proven that the higher education you have, the more success you're going to have finding a job and get having a good salary. And with the cost of living going up, that's definitely important. So, what else do I want to say? Um, can't really think of too much right now. I just our current mayor, Mayor Lightfoot, our current uh, uh, city council, the Chicago leadership in general is just continuing to go downhill, and even more so during this pandemic. At the time we need really strong leadership, now it just continues to go downhill. It's all over the media. Everybody knows about it, that our city is just continuing to just get such bad publicity, and people here are fed up with the leadership. So I want to change that. I really do, and I think now is the time that I'm going to do that. So yeah. So I think I'll just leave it there. Like I said, I don't want to make this a really long video. I just want to get the gist of uh, what what I'm trying to do, what my campaign will be about, and yeah, just going to hope for the best, that I'm successful in my political endeavors. But as I get out of school, my focus will be shifted more towards my political career, definitely, and especially running for mayor of Chicago in the coming months. And yeah, like I said, I had issues posting my other 3 videos on my phone, so I've been trying to get it on to YouTube and Facebook. And until I do, I'm making this video because I just really want to get that out there, that I am going to run for Chicago mayor, and my ideas and beliefs out there, so people know who I am and what I'm running for and how I plan to change Chicago if I'm elected. And so yeah, so I will be posting. Like I said, I'm on like kind of a mini break right now for the next 3 weeks at least. So I'm going to try to post as frequently as I can within those 3 weeks before I go back to school to finish my fall semester, my final semester. And yeah, so I'm going to try to post as much as I can. Right now, I'm just posting this video, and thank you everybody who's watching for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.